All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praises and glories unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Harakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. Greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the elect. Shalom unto you. All right, we brothers required from the Las Vegas church. Just gonna go in about Jacob and Esau. Okay, particularly that they're gonna struggle. They struggle from the beginning. They're gonna struggle to the end. Okay. They're going to struggle to the bitter end of this thing. Okay? All right? This man does not want to go out of power, but he's going to go out, whether he likes it or not. Okay? And so I'm going to start here in Genesis, the 25th chapter, with Genesis 25, and I'll start at 21. It says, "And Isaac entreated the Lord, Yahweh, for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived." Got pregnant, okay? "And the children struggled together within her." They're in the womb struggling. "And she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord Yahweh." Now let's stop there and let's go back to Genesis, the 3rd chapter. Okay? And this is, you have to understand, the serpent. Okay, his presence, he's actually a man upon the earth. His spirit, that serpent-like spirit, became from the serpent man into Cain, and from Cain, the first murderer, Cain, into the natural-born leper, Esau. Okay, and Cain was changed into a leper. Okay, a clean leper. All right, all the way into the end of Revelation, man. There's been a struggle between these two, and it was prophesied in this chapter. So the lie that the serpent man told Eve, and it affected Adam all the way down into the book of Revelation. But let's jump down into verse 14. Matter of fact, I'll start at verse 13. Yep, it says, "And the Lord Yahweh, power, said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And the Lord Yahweh power said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman." And that woman is talking about Israel, man. Okay, the sons of God, which became the children of Israel. Okay, and the sons of the wicked, which where that serpent came out of, the spirit of that serpent man came out of, they became the Edomites. Okay, "And between thy seed and her seed, it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel." Okay, and so that's the enmity. Let's look up the word enmity.
Here's the definition of immunity.
No.
The ability of an organ.
All right, Google, right? Funny. Enmity. The state or feeling of being actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. Hostility, animosity, antagonism, friction. Okay, opposition, dissension, rivalry, feud, discord, contention. Look at these words. Bitterness. That word bitterness is going to come back very soon. Okay. Ill will, bad feeling, bad blood, hatred, hate, loathing, detestation, malice, venom. What is venom associated with? Snakes and serpents. Okay. Grudge. Okay. So now that we've gone back to the beginning of their existence, let's go to the next chapter, when he became Cain. Okay, let me get to the point. We all should know this. Okay, I'll start at verse 4, Genesis 4 and 4. "And Abel, which was a righteous man, okay, he also brought that of the firstlings of the flock and the fat thereof, and the Lord Yahweh had respect unto Abel and his offering, but unto Cain and his offering he had no respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou dost well, shalt thou not be accepted, and if thou dost not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now thou art cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. Okay? And when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. That's why even today that Cain or Esau or the serpent, okay, or so-called white man is ruling the earth. He can't get the true yield of the earth. Okay, the true yield of the earth. If you keep the righteous land Sabbaths and you treat the land the righteous way that we were instructed in our law, it would yield. But it's a righteous thing to do that, and this man is not righteous. Okay, he's profane. He's outside of the righteousness, outside of the temple. All right, so let's move back. So he was first a liar, then he became a murderer, and this is all characteristics of Esau. All right, so let's go back now to Genesis 25, because it's going to play into this. Okay, let's start up. 22 again, it said, and the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. Okay, that struggle was from back then, and it's all the way up until now. The contention of Cain and Abel, the contention of Adam and the serpent. Okay, on to Jacob and Esau, which we're reading about now. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Prophecy. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. The first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Now, the custom was that the elder got the blessing, but this was not the case. Same as the case of Ishmael. Ishmael, which was born before, was not the of Abraham instead of Isaac, was not it didn't pass through him either. Okay, it passed on to Isaac. All right. Anyway, side note. Anyway, I digress. It says, and after that came his brother out and took hold, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. Okay, we read that in the 3rd chapter, right? And his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Jacob because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sought pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. Esau said unto Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore his name was called Edom, which word Edom means red. Adawam, which means red. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. An astronomical thing that he'd be like, nah, man, just wait. But say, if you really want to sell your birthright. Okay? It was a brotherly sibling rivalry type thing. Okay? But neither one of them understood the prophecy. The prophecy was told unto Rebekah. Okay? It says, and Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me? And no patience, no faith. And Jacob said, swear to me this day, and he sware unto him. So he sold his birthright right then. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils. The deal is good. And he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. But instead of him having integrity, what did he do? He didn't say, okay, man, our father's about to get a blessing. Let me go ahead and let you get that. Let me see. Right here, let's start at verse 4, Genesis 27:4, and make me. Let me start up. Verse 1. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old, and his eyes were dim, he was going blind, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, the elder shall serve the younger, and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here am I. And he said, behold, I am old. Behold now, I am old. I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison, and make me savory meat such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. That's when he should have intervened and be like, well, I sold my birthright, Father. You have to now bless Jacob. But this is not a man of integrity, okay? The Edomites. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, behold, thy father, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat and bless thee before the Lord before my death. Okay? Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. And she proceeds to tell him how to be in there for the blessing. She has to supplant him for the blessing. So let's jump down. You can read that for yourself. Get down to the real good contention part. Okay. All right, so he'd be, let me see. Yep. Verse 28, therefore the Most High give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, who? Where is he that hath taken venison, and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him, yea, and he shall be blessed. According to the prophecy. Isaac wasn't privy to the prophecy. Rebekah was privy to the prophecy. And Esau heard the words of his father, and he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and he hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, is he not rightly named Jacob, the supplanter, or Yaquab? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. No, it was just the one time. With the red pottage, the 25th chapter, and now beating him to the punch for the blessing, as the prophecy stated. And behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained thee. Have I sustained him? And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? I gave him everything. I ain't got much to give left. I gave him everything. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, and this is the time of his dominion now. He'd been ruling since the Greeks came into power. And then the Roman Empire, and then he was bound in the bottomless pit for 1,000 years. Then he came out during the time of the Renaissance, and he's still ruling today. And when this ends, it will be by the hands of an Israelite. Okay, particularly Yahushua and the elect. Okay, and the angels. All right. It says, and Esau hated Jacob as that enmity that we talked about, hatred. Okay. Because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him, the same way Cain hated Abel. Okay, because of the way the Most High gave respect unto Abel, but didn't give the same unto to Cain. The same spirit. All right. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And that's what he's been doing ever since. Okay. And that's when he went on. So now let's jump ahead to this tension that still goes on today. All right. Now here is Revelation 6, chapter 4. And there went out another horse that was red. Adawan. Okay. Edom. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given to him a great sword. Okay. And this is him, that same red man. Okay, red being the moniker there. That's going to come with the killing instrument. Okay. Let's show you what that great sword is in the book of Isaiah right quick. 54 toward the end. All right. It says, Isaiah 54:16, Behold, I have created the smith, the scientist, that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy these nuclear missiles. Okay? This is what he created. These arrows. And there's plenty of scriptures talking about that particularly, the missiles particularly. Okay? The Oppenheimers, I believe, it's who did those German scientists, that Teamanites, that put some of that work together. Okay, so let's go back. All right, to the red horse. All right, Revelation 6, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. And that'll be the other parts of death. Esau will be one part of death, and the death angel will be out as well. Okay? Killing in this time of the Lord. All right? Showing you that this is a very tumultuous time. Okay, Revelation chapter 12. Okay. There's a lot in here, so let me hit these real quick. Revelation 12:7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. Okay, let's go into that. 2nd Esdras chapter 13 talks about the war in heaven. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned and heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. Okay? And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. And the man that came out of the sea is Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? And what are they doing? They're trying to subdue Yahweh Shai and the angels when he returns. Okay? And it continues to say, verse 6, but I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. Okay, that's the grand chariot, man. The fathership, we like to call it. Okay, the biggest one, that Independence Day, the one that you can't see the other side because it's so huge, it goes over the horizon line. Okay, but it would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven and could not. It was so big. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Because all the nations are gonna be fighting in World War III. Okay, the beast versus the other nations that are gathered up, Russia, China, all these other nations gonna be fighting in the Middle East. And yet they're gonna stop fighting when Yahweh Shai and the angels enter the battle, and they're gonna want to fight against him. And yet there's fight, even though they're afraid of that. Okay? And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it were, a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath. Out of the chariot shot lasers, man. Okay, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest. Okay, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude that was prepared to fight. Hey, man, you get invaded by the holy angels, or what you UFOs or aerial phenomenon or whatever, and you still gonna fight like in the movies. This ain't Hollywood though. But the Most High is gonna make them continue to fight, so he can judge the whole earth. Okay, and burn them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Okay, and so this man is going to continue to fight. Let's go back to Revelation 12. I think I'm in 7 now. Matter of fact, before I go there, it said Michael and his angels. Let's go to the book of Daniel, 12th chapter, the first verse. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, the archangel Michael. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered. When that fathership comes, the children of Israel, the elect, are going to be delivered. The 2/3 got to die, but the elect are going to be delivered. And every one that shall be found written in the book. Okay, in Revelation the 7th chapter will give you that. Okay. All right, now let's go back to Revelation 12th chapter. So it says, and there was war in heaven. You read that in 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. What's the dragon? All those NATO EU nations, man, and the whore that rides the dragon. Okay, that's who they are. That's who's going to be the main people. Those are the strong arm, the military of Esau. Okay, fighting against the holy angels, with that Jacob and Esau fighting again. As they're going to be coming against the men of the Lord and coming down hard on the children of Israel, these things are going to be happening. That's when he goes to test the elect, the 2/3 are going to catch it. But when they go to test the elect, and the 144,000 and the 1/3, that's when Yahweh Shai, the angels, and Michael are going to stand up in that time. Okay? And prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. Okay? And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, going back to that serpent man from Genesis 3, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, and he was cast into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And they were taken off the planet and put in subjection, and after that time they will be eradicated, pursuant to Obadiah, the 18th verse. Okay. And let me see. Yeah, I keep reading. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our God, Yahweh, our power, and the power of his anointed, Yahweh Shai. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down. These Edomites, man. Esau's cast down. That old serpent, Cain and Esau. Okay? Which is the same spirit in all of them. Which accused them before our power day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. That's how we're going to overcome. By the blood of Yahweh Shai, man. Being brought back into the good graces of Yahweh. And that's the elect, man. Okay, starting with the elect. And the 2/3 will get it through the loins of the elect. Okay? And by the word of their testimony, having faith in their word, and they love not their lives unto death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, that same beast devil, okay, dragon, is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Okay? And when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. That man-child, Yahweh Shai, and he persecuted that woman all the way from back in Genesis, which were the Israelites. Okay? Jacob, his brother. Okay? And so these things are happening, man. Okay? And he tried to get complete control. Matter of fact, I'll go to the 13th chapter. Let's see. Let's go to verse 3, Revelation 13:3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death when the Edomites were killed, taken out of power during the time of the Roman Empire. Okay, part iron and part clay. That iron was taken out. Okay. And brought in the Byzantine Empire. Okay. It says, and his deadly wound was healed during the Renaissance. They came back into power. And all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. Okay, and they worshiped the beast, which that beast is those EU NATO nations. Okay, saying, who was like unto the beast, and who was able to make war with him. And this also goes into Daniel, the 2nd chapter. All right, or was it the 7th chapter? Yeah, those two were talking about the same thing in different form. Okay, let me see. And he opened his mouth and blasphemed against the Most High, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. Okay, let's jump down. Okay. Yep, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints. Who are the saints? The Israelites, particularly the elect. To be sanctified means to be cleansed. Okay, the Israelites that were cleansed away from those idolatrous, abominable works that the heathen taught us to be up under. Okay, those that have changed their lives towards righteousness. Okay, it says to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And that's why he's still fighting in that Middle East to get complete control of the world. And he's attempting to do it with his technocracy. Okay, and that's giving him the power to do it. Okay, let's see. All right, let's get down to some more good part. Yep, verse 12. And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, all the power of the Roman Empire, okay, and causes the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, the Roman society. That's why we have the columns. That's why we have the two-party system. That's why we have the different governors or presidents, if you will, okay. that rule. But then we also have the elite Rothschilds and those elite banking families, the Illuminati, that sit atop and make all the real judgments behind the scenes, as a Caesar would. Okay. It says whose deadly wound was healed when they came back into power during the time of the Renaissance, when they came out those Caucasus mountains in the caves. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. World War II is when he released that power, man. Okay, that nuclear power. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Yep. And you see that the beast is coming down, but Yahweh Shai is gonna redeem us, man. Okay, so as this is happening and he's falling, let's go into the second address. 6th chapter. Let's start around the 5th verse. Let's see. Yep. Verse 6, second address 6, chapter 6, verse 6. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also shall they be ended, and by none other. Okay. Verse 7 is the point. Gets to the point. It says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall the end of the firstborn, Esau's rulership? Okay, that's a good way to look at that. And the beginning of it that followeth. And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. That was an important thing. That signified the rulership from one to the other. Okay? That the elder shall serve the younger. So the elder coming out first and the second born grabbed the heel, but the prophecy said the elder will serve the younger. And that's how the prophecy laid out. That's why there's been enmity ever since. Trying to get that lick back, trying to get that birthright back. Okay? It says, and he said to me from I read that. Verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, of this age, and the age of wickedness, man. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, the kingdom of heaven and righteousness on the earth, the rulership of the Israelites, which shall be eternal and forever. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand of the question, as asked thou not. Okay, so this man is yet Dirk's gonna fight to the very bitter end. Okay, this how much he's put to the task of destroying the Israelites, man. He's gonna come in like a flood. He's gonna release the beast and the dragon and all these things to try to destroy the elect, the very elect. You know, all the children of Israel, to have complete control over the world. Okay, and he's gonna control them with that implant, man. That charagma. Okay. So Lord willing, this was edifying. All right, I'm gonna give all praise and glories unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Harakakvadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. Greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the elect. Okay, this man is about to come down. He's already begun. He's starting to starve us out. He's hyperinflating the money. Okay, he's creating wars in the earth. He's mandating you. He's killing your children. He's doing all these things. Okay, and the only way we can fight back is with our faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So Lord willing, is edifying to the next one. Shalom.